Every Iron Man suit built because Tony failed. Mark 1 captured Afghanistan, 2008. Tony Stark is the most powerful weapons manufacturer in the world. He has money, fame, technology that can level cities. He thinks he's untouchable. Then the Ten Rings kidnap him using his own missiles. They torture him. They demand he builds them weapons. Shrapnel from his own creation lodges near his heart. He's dying. Tony builds the Mark 1 in a cave, not as a hero, as a prisoner trying to survive. This suit is built from scraps because Tony sees firsthand what his weapons do to real people. The Mark 1 gets him out, but it also changes everything about who Tony Stark is. Mark 2, the icing problem. Tony returns home. He tests the Mark II at high altitude. The suit freezes, the repulsors fail. Tony plummets toward the ground and barely survives. The icing problem nearly kills him, so he fixes it. He adds gold titanium alloy plating. He perfects the flight system. The Mark II proves Tony isn't invincible yet. He's still learning what this technology can and can't do. Mark III, Ironmonger. Obadiah. Stain reverse engineers Tony's technology. He builds the Ironmonger, a bigger, stronger version of Iron Man, and he uses it to try to kill Tony. The Mark II wasn't built for combat. It wasn't built for war. And it nearly gets Tony killed. So Tony builds the Mark III, combat ready, weapons integrated, heat resistant, altitude tested. This is Tony realizing that Iron Man needs to be more than a flight suit. It needs to be armor. Mark V, Monaco. Tony attends the Monaco Grand Prix. He's in public, unprotected. Then Ivan Vanko attacks with electric whips, cuts cars in half. Pepper Potts is exposed, civilians are in danger, and Tony isn't suited up. He doesn't have his armor with him. So he builds the Mark V, the suitcase suit. Weaker armor, less firepower, but it deploys in seconds. This suit is about accessibility, about being ready anywhere. Because raw power doesn't help if the suit is locked in a lab. Mark 6, dying. The arc reactor in Tony's chest is killing him. Palladium poisoning. His own technology is ending his life, and there's no cure. Tony creates a new element, designs a new arc reactor, builds the Mark 6 around it. This suit saves Tony's life. It's more powerful than previous versions, more stable, and it keeps him alive long enough to keep fighting. Mark 7, New York. The Battle of New York, 2012. Aliens invade Earth through a portal in the sky. Tony's suit gets damaged mid-battle, and he has to fly a nuclear missile into space to stop the invasion. Tony survives, but the experience changes him. He builds the Mark 7 with instant deployment, heavy weaponry, extended combat endurance. This is the suit that saves New York, but it's also the suit that shows Tony how unprepared Earth is for threats from beyond. Iron Legend. Sleepless. After New York, Tony can't sleep. He has panic attacks, he obsesses over threats, and he builds suit after suit after suit. Mark 8 through Mark 42. 35 armors in a single year. The Mark 42 can fly to Tony remotely, autonomous, hands-free, but it malfunctions, attacks Pepper by accident. These suits show Tony at his lowest point, building not out of strategy, but out of fear. At the end of Iron Man 3, Tony destroys the Iron Legion. He realizes he needs to be more than the suits, but the pattern is established. When Tony feels threatened, he builds. Contingency. Tony builds the Hulkbuster with Bruce Banner. Mark 44, a contingency plan for if Hulk ever loses control. In Sokovia, Wanda Maximoff mind controls Hulk. He rampages through Johannesburg, destroys buildings, hurts civilians, and Tony has to stop him with the Hulkbuster. This suit is massive, reinforced, designed specifically to match Hulk's strength. It's built for a scenario Tony hopes never happens, but when it does, the suit works. Barely. And it shows that even Tony's most powerful armor has limits. Mark 46, Precision. The Avengers cause collateral damage in Lagos. Civilians die. Governments demand accountability. The team splits. And Tony finds himself fighting Captain America. The Mark 46 has precision combat systems, EMP technology, non-lethal suppression tools. It's designed for controlled combat, but Tony uses it to fight Steve Rogers in Siberia, and the suit can't help him win that fight, not when he's fighting a friend. Mark 50, Nanotechnology Infinity War, 2018. Thanos comes to Earth. Tony fights him on Titan with the Mark 50. Nanotechnology. The suit creates weapons instantly, adapts to any threat. It's the most advanced armor Tony has ever built. Thanos stabs Tony, nearly kills him, takes the Time Stone, snaps his fingers. Half the universe dies. Peter Parker disintegrates in Tony's arms. The Mark 50 represents years of innovation, but it's not enough to stop Thanos. And Tony has to live with that for 5 years. Mark 85. The final suit. Tony lives through the snap, marries Pepper, has a daughter, tries to move on. For the first time, he builds a life instead of armor. But even in peace, Tony never stops thinking about failure. He knows what it feels like to lose. He knows what it costs when you're not ready. When the Avengers discover time travel and a way to undo the snap, Tony hesitates. Not because he's afraid to fight again, but because he finally has something to lose. A family, a future. But Tony Stark has always been defined by one truth. When the world needs saving, he shows up. So he builds one final suit. Mark 85. This armor isn't designed for war in the traditional sense. It's designed for inevitability. Maximum durability, advanced nanotechnology, and most importantly, full Infinity Stone integration. Tony knows exactly what he's building this time. Not a suit to survive, a suit to finish the fight. During the final battle, Thanos is unstoppable. The Avengers are losing, again, and Tony sees the same outcome he's seen his entire life, the moment where everything falls apart. But this time, he doesn't run from it. He steals the stones, channels power no mortal body was ever meant to hold, and for the first time, Tony Stark doesn't try to outsmart the problem. He accepts it. I am Iron Man. The snap doesn't just kill Thanos. It ends a decade-long arc. Tony doesn't die because the suit failed. He dies because it worked exactly as intended. The Mark 85 does what no other armor could. It gives Tony one last chance to make things right. Conclusion. Tony Stark built 17 major Iron Man suits across 11 years. Each one existed because the last one wasn't enough. The Mark I was survival, the Mark III was warfare, the Iron Legion was fear, the Hulkbuster was contingency, and the Mark 85 was acceptance. Tony never stopped improving because he never stopped failing. Every loss became data. Every mistake became a blueprint. Iron Man was never about perfection. It was about progress. And in the end, Tony didn't build a suit to save himself. He built one to save everyone else. Which Iron Man suit is your favorite? And which moment do you think shaped Tony the most? Comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more MCU breakdowns, and we'll see you in the next one.